at first sight. In 1965, while courageous individuals marched to Selma during the Civil Rights Movement, and NASA's spacecraft Mariner 4 flew by Mars, and the war in Vietnam escalated, I was a senior in college. One afternoon, I found myself with half an hour between classes, and rather than go to the library to study, I went to the campus soda shop. I bought a small fountain Coke and sat at an empty table near the jukebox. It was a sunny fall day with only a slight chill in the air, and I remember exactly what I was wearing because I suddenly felt out of place. I became certain that my dark blue London fog raincoat, the cheap imitation I wore, fooled no one. I thought of taking it off, but I didn't like the drab dress I wore underneath. Except for one or two outfits, the few clothes in my closet were not trendy or expensive. The only real fashion item I owned was a pair of Bass Weegian loafers. Everybody wore them. My feet were wide from playing barefoot as a kid, and the loafers only came in a B as in blister width. But I stuffed my D as in discomfort with feet into them and proudly endured the pain. Across the soda shop, a young man sat at a table surrounded by 6 of the prettiest, hippest freshman girls on campus, and they buzzed like queen bees in his presence. I envied them having such a good time. One girl sat closer to him than the others and seemed to know him well. I took my sunglasses off to get a better look. She had long, straight, natural blonde white hair and a golden copper-tone tan. A silver bracelet, reminiscent of the type worn by Cleopatra, coiled itself like a snake around her upper arm. The girl was pretty enough to be a model. I felt nothing but hatred for the creature. Why couldn't I look like her? Why couldn't I be sitting there with that hunk? He stood up to allow a student to pass by his chair, and I admired his height and those broad shoulders and that silly, crooked grin on his face. Oh my God, what's happening to me, I wondered. I slipped my sunglasses back on to prevent anyone from seeing exactly what I was looking at because I couldn't take my eyes off the guy. Get a grip, I told myself. Instead, I removed a quarter from my wallet and headed for the jukebox. Although I'd already bought my school supplies and paid for a year of meals in the dining halls, I had to be careful. I only had $20. Just buying a Coke in the soda shop was a luxury. Playing the jukebox was also a luxury, but I had to do something. The jukebox was up to date with all the latest hits, including lots of oldies, as well as standards by Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett. I inserted the money and played He's So Fine by the Chiffons, the song that so described my feelings. He's so fine, doodle-lang, doodle-lang, wish he were mine, doodle-lang, doodle-lang, that handsome boy over there, doodle-lang, doodle-lang, the one with the wavy hair, doodle-lang, doodle-lang. I lit a cigarette from a pack of Marlboros I'd bummed from my roommate and sat back to see if my choice of music would have an effect on the group at the table. But if anyone noticed, I couldn't tell. I played the song for the handsome, broad-shouldered, black-haired stranger with the silly grin. It was my secret, and I gloated over it until I had to leave for class. I never believed in love at first sight, but that afternoon, I began to seriously consider the possibility of it.